Okay, wait, don't go anywhere. What I'm about to tell you is what probably you have not been told anywhere. Get a pen and a paper and write it down. This will tell you whom we were, who we became, and who we are before the white men came and after they left, and who we remain. This will tell you why indirect rule flourished in the north and in the southwest and failed in the southeast. This will tell you our origin. Listen, pay attention. In the early 19th century, the Fulanese conquered Harbi, which can call the Hausa state. They were conquered through jihad. The jihad could be seen as a religious and a political jihad. It was led by a man called Uthman Danfodio. Uthman Danfodio established another outstanding political system of government and established the Sokoto Caliphate. Each of the caliphates were created an emirate. Each of the emirates were headed by an emir. The emir were selected and appointed. Listen, the emirs hold allegiance to Uthman Danfodio and two of his representatives at Wandu and Sokoto Caliphate. Listen, the emir was in charge of making sure that there is rule and order, of making sure there is peace in the community. The emir paid attention and respected and owed allegiance to Danfodio and two of his representatives at Sokoto and Wandu. Listen, pay attention. This is a linchpin information. Write it down. The people saw the emir as someone who had a divine right to govern. What does that imply? It connotes that when the emir say come, you come. He say go, you go. You don't question. So now, the Hausas and the Fulani pre-colonial days were very, very centralized political system of government. People were in charge of positions. You had the Waziri. The Waziri was the head of the official. You had the Galadima. He was the head of the capital. You had the Madawaki. He was the commander of the army. You had the Dogari, the head of the police. You had the Maji, the treasury officer. You had the striking rower, the head of the fishing place. You had the striking father. He was the head of the palace workers. And you have the striking power. He was the head of the butchers, which can be called the head of the abattoir today. So you don't kill your animals if you don't meet the striking father. You don't go to the army if you don't see the Madawaki. You don't go to the police if you don't see the Dogari. People were in charge of positions as well as the Waziris. You understand? Now, the people were paying taxation before the white men came. They were paying taxes, okay, to the authorities that were instituted at that point in time. So when Lord Lugard came in 1900 through the Niger Lawyer Company, all right, he saw that the people were centralized. He saw what was similar to what he had in Britain. So no need of telling the people to pay taxation. What does he do? It is now time for him to use indirect rule. So he holds the emir responsible. The emir holds the people accountable. So indirect rule flourished in the north. Lord Lugard enjoyed himself in the north. So when he came to the southwest, he saw something similar. What was the political administration of the Yoruba pre-colonial days? The highest empire then in the Yoruba pre-colonial days was the Oyo Empire. The Oyo Empire was so powerful that it had influence. It had influence in Dahomey, the present day Republic of Benin, and that was what they tried to depict in Human King. Okay, now how was the political leadership of the Fulani pre-colonial days? The Yoruba pre-colonial days, sorry. The Yoruba pre-colonial days, their laughing was there, all right? And then you had the 7 hereditary kingmakers who were called the Oyo Mercies, and you had the Ora Onakakanfo, the head of the army, and then you had the Ogboni confraternity. So the Yoruba pre-colonial days was also politically centralized because they were checks and balance. The Oyo Mercy checkmate the exercises of the Alafin, and the Ogboni confraternity checkmate the exercises of the Oyo Mercies. So it was centralized. So the people were paying tribute to the Alafin. History claimed that the Alafin was seen only once in a year. Okay, so you see, Lord Lugard also enjoyed himself in the West. So let's go to the Igbo pre-colonial days. The Igbo pre-colonial administration was never centralized. It was a fragmented political system of government, meaning that power and authority was shared among the people. All right? The Igbo society was called an Archifedial society, meaning that there was what was called a direct democracy. The Igbos participated in direct democracy. The people participated in the government themselves. That's why the Igbos pride that they are the ones that taught the world democracy and not the Greeks. And if you check well, there's an element of truth in it. Now listen, let me tell you something. The head of the Igbo Piconier days was the Okpara. The Okpara. Now you had the Ofo title holders and also title holders. You had the 8th grade, which were like the army, and you had the Umuada. The Igbos are always giving voice to women. So don't mind anybody saying the Igbos don't respect women. And now listen. Each family had an or 4 title holders. Each of family have a 4 title holders. The oldest of that of 4 title holders is who becomes the Okpara. The 4 title holders makes up the council of elders. The oldest of them becomes the Okpara. Now the Okpara preside over the meeting in the council, but the Okpara cannot tell them what to do. It can't tell them what to do. So when Lord Lugard came, he thought it was like a free ride in the north or in the southwest. So when he held the Okpara responsible, the Okpara called the people and said, hey, you are going to be paying tax. The Igbo said, no, we can't pay tax. The soil is ours. The water is ours. Why can't we pay to a white man? All right. And now Lord Lugard was so terrified and he said, why come these people do not respect their leaders? How come these people have a mind of their own? Okay, so the Igbos participated directly in government. So indirect rule never worked in the southeast. It never worked because they, unlike northerners, did not see their leader as someone who had a divine right to govern. They saw him as a man themselves, someone who can be influenced, someone who can change their mind. How was laws made in the Igbo Piconier days? The council of elders can make laws. The 8th grade can also make law, and the council of elders will accept it. So far, it within the frame of the core transition of the people. Do you understand? So now, Lord Lugard could not enjoy themselves. That is why Aba women riot still remain one of the highest riots in West Africa, because these people were able to revolt, and that was why the white men never liked them. They never enjoyed them, because these people dared to say, no, we will not be subdued. Listen, I am not trying to present any ethnic group to be more superior or inferior to another. I am telling you what was factual and how it was before. All right, so we must tell ourselves that we are not one people in this country. We are different people. That's why we try to promote unity in diversity, because we are different nations. We are micro nations trying to create a mega nation. Okay, because the Igbo is a nation, the Hausa Fulani is a nation, the Yoruba is a nation. So we must tell ourselves the truth that we are different people. Only then that we can create the consciousness of tolerating one another. Yes, we must tell ourselves the truth that we are different people. All right, only then we can tolerate one another, because for a man to be an angel, he must first recognize the fact that he's a demon. All right, so know who you are. Let no one deceive you. Africa, Nigeria, wisdom is the principal thing.
Mama,